Namaste everyone and welcome to the spake Satguru Sivananda. Today's quote is here. Let me share. God gives two kinds of results. One, the result that you get by virtue of what you do or what you are. Two, the results that you get by what you desire. Both happen simultaneously. Over to you, Nana.
Namaste. So today's quote has a lot of things to do with our conduct, with our ideas, with our desires, with what we have done earlier and what we are planning now. So many things are there. So generally, our philosophy is mainly on the, of course, cause and effect theory, because these two, cause and effect, affecting and leading to cause, and cause again, it is a cycle. But these two names, that we have not come across, because our intellectuals think in India that, cause and effect theory is from West. But we have this as Karya Karana Sambandham. We have relations with everybody only based on this Karya Karana. This is the relationship that we develop. So this Karya Karana, that is the basic principle with which the whole world, what we say Laukika Vyavahara, the business of the world, it goes on. So this we have seen earlier that, there is a little difference between Abrahamic and then Hindu religion. The thing is in the thought, in the sense that most of the other religions, they do not believe in the cycle of janmas, births. So generally we also will be getting so many things now in the cinemas, and the titles, okay, Jeevitam, something like that. So these things, we come across now. That's only a Western philosophy. In the West, both major Christianity or Islam, they open with one life and end him there. So whether during this life, whether he behaved well, or whether he has accrued wealth, and the wealth means virtue and all that, whether he did commit some sins, and then he was very cruel and all that. So all these things, he has to bear that, the result he has to bear after that. After Janma, what he is going to be, we don't know. But the other two things were only eternal hell and eternal heaven. So if one is sent to the hell, so he has to be there forever, because there is no correction. Similarly, once he went to heaven, he is there forever. So these are the things in the Western philosophy. But here, we believe that, this is Jiva. Jiva concept is there everywhere. But this Jiva is the one who came into the Brahmanda with complete freedom of doing what he likes, what he desires. But only he is bound here because of his involvement in doing something. Involvement, which is this is a very important thing, involvement. He may be doing everything without involving into it. That means the feeling of I. Without doing that, doing without ego, that I am doing this. Otherwise, he is free. He is free to do anything. So that freedom is there for the jiva. But we have come a long way. So many lives we have passed, and then we have come this life to this life. So this life is partially bound by our previous karma and partially open for our future karma. We have three stages of this karma. We say sanchita, that what we have collected so far in the previous lives. A very big basket, a very big hill, something like that. And then because the whole thing cannot be spent in one life, because that has been collected in so many lives. So for this life, we are taking a part of it, a small part of it. And this is what initially that decides what we are going to do, what we will be, what we are to be. So here in the quote, Guruji has said, what we do or what we are. We are is something because when we have entered this with that prarabdha, so that decides who you are going to be. That decides. And how you are going to be. And what would be the results of so many things? All these results you will have to experience. So we have also come across some quote like that, experiences. So that means that in the past has to be experienced. So we have to complete this prarabdha, and at the end of the prarabdha, we think we are going away. Normally it happens. But for yogis and others, that's a different case. They are only exceptions. We are only speaking of the general case. So what we do is again controlled by our prarabdha. What we are means, what you are is something that in how you think, how you plan. And this mind is the one that is the driving force to do something. So you may be a very angry fellow, or you can be a hero, you can be a great musician, or you can be a great scholar, or you may be a sinner, a murderer, something like that. All these are controlled by the three gunas. So all this prarabdha and then sanchita decides what proportion of this particular three gunas are with you in this life. Trigunas means sattva, rajas, and tamas. So these three gunas make a person, an entity. It gives him an identity. He's a good man, an identity. He's a bad man, bad fellow, is an identity. So these identities are given to an individual only based on the gunas, three gunas. So that's why Guruji says, what you are is designed by what you have done before. What are the results that you are reaping in this life? But you are not condemned here to just lead what you are supposed to lead. Because we have that part of freedom still alive with everybody. That is the Hindu philosophy. That is the greatness of Hindu philosophy. You are not condemned totally, either to go to hell or to go to heaven. You are not condemned that way. Once Guruji was going in a train, he said, some elderly person also, he sat with Guruji, and a lot of a simple conversation was going on between them. So that gentleman asked Guruji, what is fate? We think everything is done by everything is controlled by the fate, and then all our lives are like something we are fated, because this is the idea that we get. What is the fate and what is the destiny? Or then what is destiny? Because the European thought is only the fate. They only believe in fate. They don't believe in destiny, because the destiny comes only with the previous lives. Because they don't believe in the previous lives, they don't have a destiny. So if they are fated to be a good person, they are fated to become an Aurangzeb, they are fated to become an Ashoka. So this is what we generally understand. You have to accept fate. But here in Hindu philosophy, we don't have a fate. Fate means you are condemned. We have only destiny. Destiny means what we have brought with us and what we are going to add to it, and how we are repaying our debt, getting ourselves free, and what we desire for good. And you can also have a nice plans and the new designs to according to your desire, and you can get also your desires fulfilled. So this freedom is there in Hindu philosophy for the jiva, for the soul. So here, when what we do or what we are, partially they are controlled by what we have done earlier, what we have brought for this. And we have liberty to do in this life for now and also for the future. Suppose if you have started some tapas, started some japas, started some yoga, started some yajna, there are so many ways that you can improve yourself. Guruji says even with the tapas, you can wipe out even your karma. Karma is not just to be experienced. You can also wash away your karma with your deep tapas, with your japa, with your puja. Otherwise, why should we do all these things? They should have some meaning. So this karma that what we have brought can be lessened. Not only this, suppose if you come across a person like Guruji or a yogi or the one who has already some tapas and who has left his tapas at a particular kshetra, you have visited there and you sat there and you thought of Bhagwan or whatever you like. And if you pray him, oh Bhagavan, let my karma, which is hindering me from progress, please remove it. So something may happen. That is anugraha. So Guruji's anugraha or yogi's anugraha or God's anugraha is always open. It's not a closed thing. So in exceptional cases, depends on how serious you are, depends on how devoted you are, depends on how you pray. It all depends. That even the what we call the sanchita, that sanchita, the entire sanchita of all these lives can also be burnt away. That we have seen in the case of Vidyaranya Swami, that we have already had this story in the previous episodes. All his 7 lives, the karma, because there is a concession to us. Suppose generally they say we be having 1,000 lives, but only the 7 lives will be carried with you. That's why we say 7 generations before and after you. So only this is the lives that you are connected directly to, either to experience or to wash off or do something. And even those 3, among them, roughly they come to 3 lives before, 3 lives later. So it's very difficult that one gets a moksha in just one life. Moksha could be, there may be 3 stages of moksha. One kind of moksha, one stage of moksha you may cross in this life. So this is one thing where this sanchita can be wiped out by the individuals with their effort. So here what you do, what you are, could partially influence your present actions and your present experiences. Suppose according to your past, you have been suffering now. So this suffering, if you take it for yourself on you, as you are free to do anything without having this ego, then that is not bound to you. So similarly, if you suffer without any complaint, without looking before that I have done all this, so I am doing no. Because all those things, if you are intelligent, you can ask Guruji or Bhagavan or God. I don't know what I have done earlier. If I had done anything earlier, so that might have been not I. That might be you. You influenced me, or you have driven me to do all these things. Because where am I that there are all these things to do? So this freedom you have brought me here into the Brahmanda. I did not come myself. So I have been dependent on you. If I did not know that at that time, but now of course I know, I have come to know that I am a dependent on you, because my life is controlled by you. So you that is your responsibility. You take away all that karma phala, because now I think that I am at your feet, and experience whatever the physical suffering that you are going to do. That's not because of you, because it was only he gave us. Even the virtue he gave us, even the sin he gave us. And you have not earned all these things, whether good or bad. If you say good, then now I have done so many things. I have seriously studied this, I have been working for 18 hours now, that, so that's why, I passed this exercises in first rank. Okay. If you think that you have done this, but you have to do that to get the first rank, all this is so okay. That is the principle. That is the line that you have to approach. You do that line because that is God has asked you to do that. You do. Do for him, not for you. So similarly, here, what you are and what you do, if you are or what you are, you think that, that is because of him, what you are. Now I am a professor, that's because of you. Now I am a baker, that's because of you. So whatever you are, you ascribe this to him. Instead of, I have done something earlier, and because of that, I am suffering here. So this goes on for any number of lives to come. So in this life, because you have heard, you have seen, you have read the quote of Guruji or some great soul, then you believe that. If you believe that, and if you follow that, and think that everything has been done by him, and everything you are doing, that's only he is doing through you. That's important. He is doing through you. And through my eyes, I am seeing you through my eyes. I am working through my hands, your hand. You are working through my hands. You are walking on my legs. So every body, the entire body is yours because you are there within me. So this is the most important attitude, because Guruji always speaks of attitude. With what attitude you are doing this? Suppose, if you want some fame and name and all that, you are doing something. So then, for that, again, you will have to experience in the times to come. So here, you get virtue because of him. You think that if you are getting sin, that's because of him. So this should be. So Guruji says that there are two kinds of results. The results are bound to come, whether it is, you cannot remove the results. Results will be there. Either you are experiencing knowingly or you are not experiencing knowingly. The things would come. But we have one great thing, we have the Almighty. That Almighty is all powerful. Is all powerful. He can even simply watch it out. And because earlier also we had some discussion about the devotees. The devotees, whom we think that, without knowing anything else, they had done a night out in a temple, and then they put some bilwa or something on the linga and what. Without knowing that also he is doing, but Even then, Guruji's anugraha, the Shiva's anugraha was there only. They may not be knowing, but their jiva knows it. Jiva experiences. So that way, and another important aspect here, that what he gave in the last sentence, if you be careful about that, both happen simultaneously. Your karma, your desire, your virtue, and your new desires, all these things, they are happening simultaneously. It's not that, there is a period of experiencing sin and there is a period of experiencing virtue. In sin, you are getting virtue. Virtue result is also there. For example, Guruji says, if you are sick, then sickness is because of your bad karma, that's fine. But suddenly some efficient doctor, you could come across, and then he treated you very simply. That is virtue. So in each work, in each experience or event, you have both these things simultaneously. You are experiencing bad karma. It doesn't mean that the entire period you have experiencing bad karma. Even in the Shani period, we say Elnat Shani, 7 years Saturn, all that. Even then, Saturn also gives him a lot of benefits. Lot of benefits. During that Saturn period, he might have built his house. During that Saturn period, he had got a wonderful job. During this Saturn, he might have had a wife in a good marriage and all that. In this Saturn, he might also have some children. So there are so many things. Or he might have become a wealthy man. Saturn doesn't mean that, it gives only the bad things, bad results. So the thing is that all these things are there, but you could have become a diabetic. That is also Saturn's result. So these things, Guruji clearly says that simultaneously it happens. How, if you are getting a good doctor, just you, because when you are having this some problem, so you pray God, oh God, because this is the problem. It is not being diagnosed. You please see, you please save me. Suppose if you pray, your earlier virtue will be brought here, and that would help you with a good doctor, a good treatment. So this is the most important, because everything goes simultaneously. Only this and only that, exclusively this are not on this earth. But these are there in the heaven and the hell. Our heavens and hell, they are not, condemned hell and condemned heaven. If you have virtue, you are placed in heaven. After the virtue is spent, then you will be sent back to what you call the earth. Similarly, you are sent to the Naraka or the hell, and there you have to pay off for all what you have done, and then you will again come back here. Because nobody has done only sin, nobody has done only virtue. Even in the sin, he will be committing a virtue. Even in the virtue, he may be committing some sin. So these two are mixed ones. So you are also getting results in mixed one. A mixed one. This is the most important that we have to remember. That whatever is going on now, everything in some place, there is a flood. At some other place, it was, the life was very beautiful, and the people are going on a walk, and people are boating, and people are enjoying entertainments. Exhibitions are there. Some places, no, it's something. Some place in Turkey there was a earthquake, but we were very happy with here. So these things do happen. So everything happens simultaneously. It's a mixture of sin and virtue. It's a mixture of good and bad. And it's only mixed because even now also in the YouTubes, you will be getting all the songs and dances are mixed. They say they mix them up. It was some time where these things were not mixed. The things were separate. But on earth, on this planet, everything is mixed. There is nothing exclusive. Everything is inclusive. So that makes us feel that everything, on one side, there would be hot, on the other side, you enter into a AC room. So these things do happen. So there are virtues and sins which we have carried, and we can do now, and we can add, and we have also the liberty to say that Ram Ram to everything, and lead life dependent on the God. So we have so many ways out also, ways in, and we have ways out. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nana, and see you all again tomorrow. Bye.